Hello! My name is Mike Ulmer. Today I'm going to show you how to make grilled Italian stuffed chicken breast. This is a recipe I came up with a few years back and my niece Ashley requested I show her how to make this recipe. So here we go. So what you're going to need is some chicken breasts. Thick ones are going to work way better with this recipe. We are cooking 4 big, thick and juicy chicken breasts today. We're going to need Vigo seasoned breadcrumbs. Make sure you get the one Italian style with imported Romano cheese. We're going to need a lemon. We're going to need a whole head of garlic. A block of Parmesan cheese. You can get the fancy stuff if you want, but Sargento makes a pretty decent Parmesan cheese for $2.50 for this whole block I got. We're also going to need extra virgin olive oil. Fresh cracked pepper is best, but any kind of pepper and salt. And then some Italian seasoning. This is just herbs if you look on the back. It's just rosemary, thyme, oregano. There's no kind of garlic already in it or anything. So it's just dried herbs. Alright, let's get started. So we're going to take our head of garlic and we're going to peel off all this papery shell on the outside. Alright, we're not going to rip the individual cloves off. We're just going to get that papery part off the outside. So it looks like that, as best you can. Alright, it doesn't have to be perfect. Get all this crap out of the way. Take a small piece of aluminum foil. Put the garlic right in the middle. Gonna make like a little cup around it almost. Pour a little bit of olive oil on top. And close it around the top like this. And squeeze it so you have something that looks like this. Alright, and I like to shake it up a little bit, get all that olive oil all over the garlic. Next, we're going to take what we've just made, we're going to put it in the toaster oven, or a regular oven will do, at 375 degrees. You want to leave it in there for about 45 to 50 minutes. Okay, 45 minutes has elapsed. We are going to turn our oven off. Probably use tongs or something to get this out, but you only live once, right? Now it should be sizzling. You can hear it sizzling if you listen real close. Oh, so now we're going to open up this foil. Open it up like that. See what it looks like. A little bit crispy on the bottom there. That's what we're looking for. And we're going to leave this out to cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now while our roasted garlic is cooling off, we're going to go ahead and grate up our cheese. This is a 5-ounce block of cheese, and I'm going to do a little more than half of the block, so we're looking at like 3, maybe 3.5 ounces of cheese. Now this is the most tedious part of making this recipe. We're going to take these garlic cloves, pretty much one by one, try to separate them off of the head itself, and then we're just going to squeeze out all that roasted garlic goodness. Yeah. This is what's going to give the stuffing its amazing flavor. This roasted garlic. This is the key ingredient. So just squeeze it all out of the shell. Throw the shells away. Don't get any of the shell in the mix. Don't want that. And to this, I'm going to add all the cheese that I grated earlier. Make sure we get it all in there. You can't skimp on the cheese. One rule of cooking Italian food. Alright, then I'm going to add some of these breadcrumbs. I'm going to say like about a cup worth. Oh, it's pretty good. And then we want to add some extra virgin olive oil. That's about 3 tablespoons or so. And I'll take a fork and I'm just going to work it in. Just work it in. on a side note, your recipe is going to come out tasting way better if you have an alcoholic beverage on hand. And on another side note, you really need to take my advice on that last part about letting the garlic cool. I chose to rush it a little bit and not allow the garlic to cool fully, and I burnt the shit out of myself. So make sure you heed that warning and let it cool. Now right now this is looking like a little bit dry, so we just need to add more olive oil. So I guess we're up to about 4 tablespoons or so. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So when you work it with the fork against the edge, and then you turn it, it's all one big clump like that. That's what we're looking for. It's almost like cookie dough in a way, but not quite as sticky. Alright, and you can adjust it as you want. If you want more breadcrumbs in there, you want more cheese, or however you want to do it. You want to put 2 whole garlics in there? Be my guest. I'm not going to judge you. Alright. Now before we start prepping the chicken, you want to make sure it's nice and trimmed. Alright, get all the fat and skin off. Now this is by far the trickiest part of this recipe. You want to pick a point on the side of the chicken breast. Maybe like right here. Go right in the middle there and make an incision. Just like that. The smaller the better. It needs to be big enough to where you can fit like a teaspoon through, but it shouldn't be any bigger. Otherwise you're going to have all of our delicious stuffing leaking all over the grill. And now what I'm doing is I'm cutting into the inside of the chicken breast almost to the edge, but not all the way to the edge. Alright? So we're creating a big pocket inside of the chicken breast. Don't go too low down this way, or else you're going to have a big hole on the bottom of the chicken breast. Right? So it's better to go a little higher than too low. And we want to get all the way through, being very careful. And then what I do with clean hands, I go through and just kind of open it up a little bit. Oh yeah. Okay. So now, if you look in the middle, we got this big pocket inside. Let's see if I can get a little closer. You can go, there's a huge cavity inside the chicken breast, but just this small little hole. I usually like them a little smaller than that, but not too bad. So we want to do this to all of the remaining chicken breasts. So now that I've created my incision on all of these chicken breasts, we're going to go to the fun part. We're going to take our stuffing that we made earlier, and we're just going to stuff it in there with a spoon. Oh yeah. Get it all in there. You want to stuff it up with a lot. That's why we made a lot. You want there to be a lot of stuffing in here. Don't make too little, or you'll be disappointed with the end product. Oh yeah. Okay. So that's pretty good, and I want to work it in there all the way through so that there's not just a big chunk of it in the middle and the rest of it's like regular chicken. And then I like to smush it down a little bit. That helps divvy it up. Boom. This one's ready. Let's go to the next 3. Alright, so now that we have all our chicken breast stuffed, we're going to use fresh cracked pepper on top. Or if you're a loser, you can use regular pepper if you don't have a pepper mill. Then we're going to do salt. Salt is not as important to have a grinder. Just really any salt will do. And then we're going to take our little Italian seasoning. Remember this guy? Pop him open. And lightly dust top of these breasts. Then we're going to flip them over, do the same exact thing. So now our chicken breasts are stuffed and seasoned and ready to go on the grill. Before we go out, on a separate cutting board with a separate knife, we're going to take our lemon, chop it right in half, like that. And now we're ready to go out to the grill. One thing I forgot to mention earlier, that before you prep this chicken breast, you probably want to take them out of the fridge like 45 minutes or so prior to prepping them. Because if they're really cold when you put them on the grill, they don't cook as well. We want them to be closer to room temperature. Alright, let's start grilling. So now we're going to put our chicken breasts on a preheated grill. And we want to put them on at about, always want to go with like a medium temperature unless you know that your grill is really hot, it cooks really hot. Medium should be okay. I'm all the way on low because my grill, instead of using propane, it uses a plutonium fusion core reactor to cook the meat, so I don't really have to go so high. I'm going to leave these here. I put them diagonally like this, it just makes it look prettier with the sear marks. About 5 minutes, and then I'm going to turn them about 90 degrees, and we're going to flip them over and do the same thing. Alright, it's been 5 minutes. I'm going to do a quarter turn on each of these chicken breasts. This is going to help it to cook a little more evenly, and it's going to give us a pretty little crisscross pattern on our chicken. Alright, 5 more minutes, we'll be back. So it's been 5 more minutes, and we're about to flip our chicken over. But before we do that, we're going to take our lemon and just squeeze this juice over top of it, like so. Oh yeah. And you see the grill starts to smoke when you do that. So you're getting a lemony, delicious flavor on there, and you're also getting that smoky flavor at the same time. Okay. Try not to get any seeds on there. At this point, let's flip them over. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that beautiful sear. See the crisscross? Okay. And actually we're going to trade places here too, because sometimes grills cook a little unevenly. You always want to move stuff around. Okay, especially for this big hunker right here. Alright, 5 minutes, we'll be back. So we're going to do our last quarter turn. And these are just starting to look very scrumptious. Okay, look at that big fatty right there. And then we're going to take our other half of our lemon, get on this side. Oh yeah. So that's it. We're going to close this grill up. Another 5 minutes and they'll be about done. Our grilled stuffed Italian chicken is done, and we are taking them off the grill. Very gently, very gently. Be gentle. Very gentle. So here's the finished product. We have our grilled Italian stuffed chicken, and I've also made some grilled red potatoes, some sauteed green beans to go on the side. And now we need to get a verdict. Look at that. Okay. Yes. Do the doggies want some potatoes? Do the doggies want some potatoes?
What's potatoes?
Oh, there's a hunk. Oh, okay. Oh, he likes potatoes.
Dizzy is a bad dog.
Dizzy is a bad dog.
Look at Falcor. He's being a good dog. Nope, he is a bad dog. Oh, he's drooling. Look at him drooling.
No, Dizzy's one of our misses.
There you go.
They like potatoes.
That's all.
They like potatoes.